I mean, snippets. It's not. We're not going to tell you a whole journey because I mean, you know, some of it's quite boring. You'll get bored.
And we are live again. Welcome to the second of our live sessions. And I don't know how I'm saying this, but this is the last session of the day. For any of you that are watching this session for the first time, I can't believe you would be, but if you are, my name is Nicky Salt. I'm a vocal and performance coach, and they are Foruity, International Top 10 Quartet. And this live session is all about their quartet journey. So let's kick off, peeps. Ready? Got loads of questions. So, the first question is to all of you. Here it comes. You obviously have a fabulous rapport between the four of you. Let me just interject at this point. I know it isn't about me, but I'm just going to tell you. My first quartet was called Rapport. Funny that. Anyway, you obviously have a fabulous rapport between the four of you. Why do you think that works so well?
Because we're all weird.
Sophie.
Yeah.
We're all weird.
You are all weird. It's true.
I don't know.
I think longevity helps. When you have that sort of first year or that first few sessions as a quartet, getting to know each other, and we do have a great rapport, but that's been built up since we've been singing together. We've learned different things about different people. We need to keep Varian fed, otherwise she gets really mean. And
don't we just? Yeah.
And so like we have built that rapport by learning each other's little idiosyncrasies and taking them into account.
It literally is like marriage. There's all that give and take. And yeah, like you say, the more time you spend together, the more you learn about each other, and the more any of the things that irritate you learn to deal with, and the things that you love about them just get amplified. So it all works.
Communication.
I love that. And I think for you, kudos to you guys as a quartet, because I think the rapport, you had a great rapport when you sung with Ellie, and then in comes Sophie, and the way that you managed that and then built up the rapport with Sophie was just fabulous. So double kudos for you guys.
I mean, who can't build a rapport with Sophie? She's a total babe.
I didn't really give you a choice, did I? I was like,
no, that's
hello.
Okay, next question. Modesty aside for this one, please. What unique strength or quality do you each bring to Foruity?
Oh God.
Do we do each other's? Is that easier?
Yes, I think maybe you could do each other's. Why don't you do each other's?
Okay, Jem, do you want to start and you get to pick?
Okay, and what was the question again? What unique strength?
What unique strength or quality do you each bring to Foruity?
Okay, so
you don't have to do all of us. You can just pick one and then we'll go.
Oh, should I just do one?
Just tell me one, anyone you like, Jem.
Okay. So I think I'll do Sophie, because we were just talking about Sophie joining the quartet. The thing Sophie brought to the quartet, her unique quality is that she, and I don't know how to describe this, but she's just amazing. She can flip between being super organized to being completely empathetic, and she sort of has the qualities that the other three of us have, but in one person rather than us individually. Did that answer it? I don't think so.
That's very good. Sophie's crying now. Good one.
Who wants to go next? I happily do any of you. So wait.
Yeah.
Keep it clean, ladies. Keep it clean.
Oh.
Come on, quick. Come on, move on.
There we go.
I'll do Varian. Varian Oh, I mean, like everyone has seen today, like the insane level of creativity that Varian brings to the quartet. And she always has a fresh perspective on things, which I think we all really appreciate. And she makes us think about things in a different way. And she also challenges some things that I think sometimes the rest of us kind of take for granted. She's like, actually, is this the way we want to be doing this bit? Which I really like.
Yeah. And she styles us like we would
Yeah,
not
really.
have any sense of style or beauty if it wasn't for Varian.
Very
Love
And
it.
I think I'm going to do Gem because it'll be too easy for V to do Gem.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say you two need to do each other, Varian and Sarah. Otherwise, we're going to be here forever. We can't
Too
each
late.
do all of us.
So I'll do Gem.
Sarah, do Varian.
Sophie's just done
Oh,
Varian.
okay.
Varian's already done, so I'll do Gem.
Yeah, do that.
Gem,
Ignore
I think Gem brings the absolute heart to the quartet. She, if anyone ever needs to understand anything, then Gem is the person to go to. She just gets it. She gets all of us, and she empathises as well. Just a really kind human, basically.
Oh, stop it.
But she,
Lovely. V, where are you going?
Sarah, because she's the only one left, isn't she?
yay!
Yeah.
We've got this.
Struggling there for a minute. Sarah is the mummy of the quartet. She looks after us and she plans our lives. Like if we didn't have her, we would really struggle because
We would.
not only does she look after us from an emotional side, being the mummy, she also looks after us in terms of making sure that we have everything sorted. Like she's a dreamboat.
She's the ultimate reminder.
Yes. I have never met anyone who is as organised as Sarah. It is
Oh my word.
amazing.
She's in a league of her own in that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So all those unique things that you bring to Fortuity, which is some of the reason that it is as amazing as it is. Okay, next question. Lockdown. This is for Varian. This question has been sent in for V. How have you stayed connected as friends and as a quartet during lockdown, V?
So connected generally, we're talking all the time, like our WhatsApp group is on fire constantly. One of us will go away from it and there'll be like 100 messages in the space of, like 10 minutes or something. But in terms of like doing this type of thing where we're like doing Zoom rehearsals, we're a little bit split down the middle in terms of how we think, how effective we find it. So we've done a couple, but we haven't really put pressure on ourselves to do too much because this is a weird time and we all handle it very differently. So, but that's not to say that we haven't done kind of multi-track recordings and stuff like that. We had Babs asked us to do a little jingle for them for the Babs Live thing, which was awesome. So we have sung a little bit. We've just not done it together.
And you've been preparing for this too, so you've met a lot in order to do this, haven't you?
Yeah. So, but and not just this actually. We've
So yes.
met for like each other's birthdays and done quizzes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Which has been great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, moving on. Next question. Question for Sarah. Looking back on your successes now, were there times during the journey when you doubted yourselves and perhaps didn't think you'd make it? How will they doubt themselves? I can't tell you. Question for Sarah.
Pretty much constantly doubt yourself. I mean, it's a human condition to doubt yourself, I think, and even more British to doubt yourself. So yeah, I think we've had a lot of success and it's been great, but it always comes with the doubt as you go, because you never know until it happens whether or not you're going to make it, because how can you can't know for sure. But I think personally I've always believed that you need a lot of patience and a lot of hard work to get anywhere, and I think with both of those you can achieve anything. And but sometimes you just have to have the luck of the circumstance as well, because we are just incredibly lucky that the four of us have come together at the right time, so that it's worked for all of us. Because if any one of us wasn't ready for this journey, then we wouldn't be going where we're going, and we all need to maintain that. So who knows what changes? You just never know what's around the corner. But the fact that we kind of talk about it and we all know where we want to be going, hopefully we can manage each other's life changes and expectations, so that, you know, we can have those doubts as to whether or not we'll ever get there, but absolutely you've got to believe that you're going to get there, and be thankful for the success that you've had, because yeah, you don't know how far it's going to go.
Never
Exactly that.
Oh, can I just remind everybody watching that if you want to add your question, you can use the comments feature on your YouTube, on the link that you're watching on. Use the comments feature, and then they'll feed me the questions, and then I can ask them. But these are the ones that were sent in prior to. Okay, quick question. Who makes showmanship and expression decisions?
Nicky Salt.
Yeah, Nicky.
basically.
Seriously. But seriously.
It's a team like consultation process,
Of course.
facilitated by Nicky.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I think
you
certainly your showmanship. I mean, Varian is very showmanshipy, isn't she?
Yeah. And Gemma, I would say, is our musicality person, the sort of the expression side of things.
Yes.
We need to kind of feed off how she feels things in order to get what we do out of the songs as well.
That's very true.
And I think it's very much for you guys. It's very much a kind of team thing, isn't it? Which is what makes it so special. Okay, here is. Let's have quick ones from all of you. But top tips for those who don't think they're good enough to quartet but would like to try. What's your top tip, starting with Sophie?
So I think if you sing in a chorus, this is easier. So if you sing in a chorus and you're thinking about quartetting, it's obviously easier to try having a little quiet go at singing either with one other person on your voice part or just by yourself with a quartet from within the chorus to kind of get a feel for how it feels. Some choruses do what's it called, like a quartet lottery, where different people from the chorus are picked to stand out and sing in front of the chorus, which is the scariest thing ever. I still find that really nerve-wracking. And yeah, I'm sure for people who are less experienced quartetters, it can be really scary. But that is a really good way of sort of feeling it out and seeing what it's like, and if you want to continue with it. Obviously, it's more difficult if you're not in a chorus, but I guess my action on that would be join a chorus.
Anyone else?
I was going to say that try and put yourself in the situation when you get an opportunity to sing with people, so that you can find out where your relationships are and who you gel with, so that you can form a quartet that way. I mean, like singing at afterglows and things like that. Or even if you literally have no experience at all of quartet singing, but you really want to give it a try and you haven't got other people to sing with, you can just tap one of us on the shoulder and we'll stand out at an afterglow and you can hop in and sing along. Great.
They literally will sing with anyone and everyone. Anytime, anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a question from the live stream from Boo de Bruin. Here's the question: how regularly do you say hello? Hi. How regularly do you review your midterm goals and come up with new ones?
It depends what's happening each year, doesn't it, really? Like, so our end goal is always the same. And then our process goal, so like when I took the year out to get married, obviously our process goal in that year was very different, and we didn't know until I said it's a bit excessive to go to America that many times in one year. So they change quite regularly, and it's just an open conversation that we have as a quartet. We don't necessarily say we need to sit down and talk about our goals now, but we'll discuss it as a group as we go along, and each year they will change. So for instance, our goal this year changed as soon as lockdown was enforced, and we changed what we wanted to do this year. But it just, as you go along, I think
there's a natural point after every contest cycle when we kind of we let that year settle, and then we sort of start thinking about, okay, so what's next, and what, bearing in mind what happened this year, what do we want to do next year, anything we want to change about the process and all that stuff.
Fantastic, good answers. Next question. What do you do to prepare mentally before contest? And I think you covered this in one of your last sessions, but a quick recap from Sarah.
So essentially it's mainly visualization and self-affirmation, which is what we did mainly for 2019 contest. So that's visualization, so that you visualize exactly what's going to happen on the day, and you have that visualization recorded so that you can listen to it in the lead up. And then the self-affirmations are anything that makes you feel positive about what you can do, and you need to tell yourself those regularly, or potentially write them down if you are too choked to say them.
Very.
Okay, fantastic. Now, another question from the live stream. This is from Hazel, Cornish Hazel. Hello, Cornish Hazel. How easy do you find choosing an outfit to perform in?
Very.
Oh, do you mean like a new outfit? Do you mean like?
Yeah. How easy? How easy? I guess the question is easier understood. If how hard do you find it choosing an outfit to perform in? Is it easy? Is it hard? How do you find it?
It's not easy at all, because we've got 4 different styles that we have to bring into one kind of thing. But I'm always looking because I love shopping, so that happens. No, I'm always looking. Like over lockdown, I bought a dress for us because I was like, it's £5 and it looks amazing, so I'm buying it. So it just depends. I mean, it depends what we're preparing for as well. I don't know. I think for like, if we're thinking about a future dress that's like a sparkly, massive, fantastic one, that's going to take a little bit of time. But like just our contest dresses, I mean, I'm literally looking all the time, like I said. I don't find it hard. I find it hard, like the girls agreeing to it. That's why.
You find plenty of them, V, but we don't always agree them. That's basically it.
That's the problem.
The problem is, V is very fashionable, and so not the rest of us are sometimes a bit like, well, that's a bit like edgy.
Yeah, I always try and get edgy stuff in, and they're just like, oh, I don't know if we're there yet. So yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, another question. How did you celebrate after the International Quartet Finals?
Maybe like crying more.
Yeah.
So we had this conversation the other day, though, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
So it wasn't very rock starry at all. Like we basically got into our jeans and t-shirt and ate pizza and drank prosecco and cried and loved on each other. That was basically what we did. Like it wasn't rock starry at all. It was the first year international that we didn't go to the afterglow. We went to bed because we were shattered.
We tried to make ourselves go. We wanted to, but we literally were drained completely.
We went back to the hotel to get ready, didn't we? And then we were just like, should we just stay here?
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, rock down life. Oh my word. Okay, here we have a question from the live stream from CJ. CJ's question is, pre-lockdown, what was your normal ratio of face-to-face rehearsals to online ones? Do you remember pre-lockdown? So what's your normal ratio of face-to-face rehearsals compared to online ones?
Pretty much entirely face to face.
Yeah, we didn't do online.
Yeah, I think when Jem was heavily pregnant, so basically in 2019, we did have a few online rehearsals. So I think we would have like a couple a month or something like that, just to kind of keep things fresh because Jem couldn't travel. And so we had to be very, I don't know, strategic about our time. So we had a few then, but I think that was the exception rather than the rule. Although maybe we'll, don't know, have to mix it up going forwards.
No, I want to see your faces all the time in person, not online.
Live is better. Live is always better. Oh, sorry,
Molly?
that's my dog barking.
Aw.
Okay, another question. Did you prepare a top 10 package? What's Molly? Did you prepare a top 10 package before you got into the 10? And how did you balance the work on that whilst prepping for the semi-final?
Yeah.
I got the first
Gemma.
bit. I didn't get the second bit.
Gemma.
I think it was how did you prepare for a top 10 package beforehand? And
No,
how
did you?
balance?
No. Here's the question again.
Okay.
Did you prepare a top 10 package before you got into the 10? There's the first half of the question. The second half of the question is, how did you balance the work on the top 10 package before you knew if you were going to get in against the work on the semi-finals package?
So we didn't prepare a package, but we knew that if and when that ever happened, getting into the top 10, we had a set of songs that we could sing. And they were songs that we sung in shows, so that we worked on them in a show perspective. So we had songs that we could draw upon, but we wrote the finals package, which you may or may not have been able to tell, the day before the finals.
We had ideas of how they would fit together, but it was pretty much just like, here's some draft thoughts that we need to work on, essentially. So I remember, because I like essentially written a draft script, and basically I was like, oh yeah, we're totally ready if we get in. We won't need to change anything. And then we essentially rewrote the whole thing the day before. And the other thing was because we had less rehearsal than we normally would have in the run-up, we essentially we had prepared the songs, but in the run-up we pretty much exclusively rehearsed the semi-final songs. So that's, I guess, something we will do differently next year, but I think probably still focusing largely on the semi-final set is still going to be the approach that we take.
Yeah.
You know, last year we placed 8th in the semi-finals, but anything can change year to year, so we're still going to have to work really hard to get back in there.
But that writing that script the day before was possibly the most terrifying / stressful / wonderful thing ever. I think we got to about 9:30 at night, and Nicky was just like, we're looking around at us and we were all just like glazing over, and she was like, right, I think we're done, we need to bed now. We've been doing it since like 10 in the morning, and it like we kept like changing bits, and then poor Soph was competing, so like not poor because
I wasn't even there for most of the day.
Yeah,
we came into it and we were like, we've done this, and she's like, right, okay, and then we had to like check that everything was all right. Oh, it was just
like, I'm a control freak, so I was like, what's happening? It's all changed. Which I'm sure I did very well.
Very well.
Indeed, it was a wonderful thing. Anyway, let me tell you, that's when the question from this morning about how do I manage the 4 different sets of emotions, let me tell you, I was tested that day for sure. That was possibly one of the scariest days of my whole life ever. Anyway, moving on. Okay, what is one of the hardest decisions you've ever had to make as a quartet?
I don't know. I know for me, I know for me, maybe not as a quartet, but for me, approaching you guys about taking that year out for my wedding, that was terrifying. Not because I didn't think you guys would support me, because I knew you would, but because I wanted to do it. But I just knew financially there was no way that we could pull that off. And to go through that prospect, that's the hardest for me, I think. I think
one of the other hard decisions we had was whether we would go to international when Ellie wasn't able to go to international, whether we would still go, and whether we would go down the route of a stand-in or just take a year out. And I think probably playing on our minds at the time was the fact that we knew that you were getting married, Jem, and we thought, well, that might possibly mean 2 years out. Do we want to do 2 years out? And I think, it was a really hard decision, that one, I would say,
that was really hard.
To say, shall we try a stand-in? I mean, it all worked out for the best, but it was hard at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, we have got some more questions, but before we do, just to make sure we get there and we've got enough time, can we quickly have you announcing the competition results, because I think people are probably waiting. So we'll do it now and then we'll come back to more questions. So over to you, V.
Okay, so in third place is Danny Curtis. I haven't got them, but CDs. In second place is Sherry. And in first place is our Mary. Bless her little stockings. So you get a CD and you get
sing the song.
I said hello,
Can we sing the
Mary
song?
Lou.
No, Mary Lou. Yeah, that was such a terrible rendition. Here we go. Okay, fantastic. Congratulations to all of those people. More questions. How are we doing for time? Very well. Very well. This is a question for all of you in any form. Feel free not to answer it if you don't want to. Who is your greatest influence for your voice part or for singing in general?
So when I first started Barbershop, as we've talked about, I was a bass, and I joined Lay City Chorus, and Ellie, one of the basses of Foruity, Ellie made me a little mixed a tape, I think it was at the time, a mixtape of Max Q, Michigan Jake, and there was a few other on there. And from that moment on, I always wanted to sing like Tony DeRosa. So I tried to put him in my bass and then in my lead, and I failed miserably, but I love him.
Whatever you're doing, it's in my opinion.
Crush. Okay, anybody else? Sarah?
I like Lee's one because she's got a bit of a girl crush.
My one is, and I'm probably going to pronounce her surname wrong because it's Swedish and it's Swedish, Anna Oman. She sang tenor in Salt, and she was the first tenor that I saw that had this level of confidence. And she was like, no disrespect to any other tenors that I've ever seen, but like tenors do stand on the end and sometimes they're quite quiet and they don't really do a lot, where she had a lot of personality and she had a lot of confidence, and I was like, I want to be like that. And she's also beautiful, and I love you. So
stunning.
She is very beautiful,
isn't she?
Very beautiful. Nice answer. Anybody else?
I've always struggled.
Anybody else?
I've always struggled with
Sarah.
Are
you going or are you not going?
Sophie's going.
Nicky can never hear me. I don't understand.
Oh, sorry. So I didn't realise you were speaking. Sorry.
No
I'm
respect.
in France, you know. I'm in France. Go.
Basically, I don't know. For me, I obviously have people that I massively respect, but I'm not very good at like imitating other people's voices. So I think I respond, like the way I take sort of influence is basically through coaching. So it may sound like a cop-out answer, but Nicky has basically single-handedly shaped me as a bass. So yeah, Many thanks. Nick.
Yeah.
Can't follow that.
And it has been a great, great, great pleasure, let me tell you.
Ah, well, it has also
Hey,
been.
great pleasure. Okay, we know the answer to this. I know the answer to this, but maybe people in the world don't know the answer to this. We kind of almost covered it. Who shops for costume?
Oh, shops.
Shops, not
Me.
shots. Yes,
Shut.
Ariel.
Well,
Right, we're
actually,
on
I say
10
me.
minute countdown.
I say
Sorry?
me though, because I say me, but Gemma's found a lot of the dresses as well.
Well, I
You actually
normally find them and then send them to Varian and go, Varian, what do you think of this?
So another team effort. We like that. We've got lots of questions and we're getting to the end. We've got, I think, I'm not very good at this. I'm supposed to look subtly and then tell you, but I think it's about 11 minutes, maybe not even that.
It was very
So
subtle.
we're going through these questions. Do you think it's much easier to form a new quartet rather than joining an existing one? Question to Sophie, I think.
Well, I have a sample size of 2. One, which is the quartet that was my very first quartet, and we're still singing together, which is Decibels. And then Foruity, where I basically joined as a stand-in. Then when Ellie stepped down, like tried to make sure that I was available to sing with them. So yeah, I don't know. I don't feel very qualified to answer that. And in both cases, it's been amazing.
Oh.
She's frozen.
I mean, that answers it, right? Okay.
That tells you how amazing it was, though. That tells you how amazing it was. She's frozen. We'll come back to on amazing.
And I've been.
She's still frozen on amazing. She's just amazed.
Oh. Am I back? Am I back?
Yeah,
you're back.
Yeah.
I love how we just.
Basically, I'm very lucky to have joined or be part of 2 quartets where everything is quite easy. Like we all get on, and you know, these girls were incredibly welcoming and supportive when I joined. So you know, I guess if you join a new quartet, just I hope that you're as lucky as I've been with your quartet mates, kind of being there for you and just supportive. But yeah, equally with a new quartet, it's really fun getting to know each other. So yeah, a cop-out answer from me.
It was a very good cop-out answer, let me tell you. Okay, let's have a go with this one. Have you ever needed to rescue a performance that wasn't going to plan, and how did you know how to do it?
I've got one for this.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah.
There's 2 where we've had to rescue the performance. 2 very different ones. One was when we were singing to, I think it was Labs Category School.
Oh yeah.
You can imagine the scene when you've got a room full of judges, and I think we had upwards of 7 false starts on a song.
Yeah.
To the point where we actually just didn't sing it in the end. We went to the other song. And that was pretty embarrassing, but you know, we carried on and then got coached on it, and then again we actually had it wasn't a contest, it was a show performance in Ireland. And it wasn't the singing that was difficult, but we were finding our way with, you know, what was our personality on stage, and we tried to be funny, and it didn't go as well as we had hoped. Sort of the tumbleweed moment. And so we dealt with that just by getting on with the singing, basically. And then we were the warm-up act for Lemon Squeezy anyway, so it was all good. It was all good.
Actually, in that same one as well, there was that. It was when we were singing everything, and we hadn't had it very long, and I was just like, and I obviously started with Ellie, and Ellie looked at me like, everything, and I was like, I know, but I can't remember my notes. We literally did this on stage for like a few seconds, and then I don't know how we got it in the end, but that was scary.
Didn't we compete once and I sang the wrong words, but you guys didn't notice? I sang the same verse twice. I think it was in something about a moon, so it must have been Once Upon a Time.
It was, but we just carried on. Yeah, we absolutely just carried on.
Oh no, it wasn't. It was the heart romance. My la 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 la.
My voice out.
That one. And I sang the verse twice, but you guys just carried on.
Carried on.
Yeah. Pros. So
this is becoming a theme.
Ignore your lead.
Yeah, basically.
So this is a theme. So what you're saying is you have had these scary moments, and you just how you dealt with it is just carrying on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just believe in yourself and get through it.
Good tip. Okay, we're getting to the end of the session now. There's a couple more questions. This one for all of you. We're going to talk families now. How much does the support of husbands, parents, friends, children, etc. mean in the whole reaching your dream thing?
It's essential.
Yeah.
Completely essential. Like
so much time that we either have to be away from our families, or we need their forbearance if we're gate crashing in one of our homes or something like that. And also the drain on the sort of family finances, because obviously it's not a cheap hobby. So, you know, like taking money out of the holiday fund to go on a across the seas trip to compete is, you know, you have to have a lot of understanding with your family to be able to do that.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
It's massive.
It's
massive.
It's huge.
You are all very lucky to have that support, I think.
But not even just our families. Like, I'm always really overwhelmed with the level of support and love that we get from the region, anyone who likes what we do. It's like when we were in New Orleans last year, and we'd literally, the announcement had happened maybe, I don't know, half an hour before, and we had the most incredible amount of messages and text messages and calls and posts on our wall. It was just incredible, like to the point that I was sitting in bed and it was like 2 a.m, and Nicky turned to me and she went, "Go to bed." Like, hasn't even woken
I think you've just revealed that as well as coaching you, we also share a room. Yeah, there was a big disclosure there. Yes, we did, but we didn't. Yes, we did share a room. Sarah, very. Yeah.
Picture evidence.
Oh my word. Yeah.
So that.
Gosh, that's how dedicated we are. Okay, so we're coming to the end now of our session, and a really wonderful kind of natural insight into the amazing journey that this quartet have had to reach the dizzy heights of the international top 10. And for me, it's been nothing more than an absolute privilege and honour to have been there during that journey. And I'm just crossing my fingers that I can be there for a little bit longer. Amazing. And thank you for sharing stuff, because, you know, it's sometimes a little bit scary to put yourselves on the line and to be so open and to share your feelings and stuff. But yeah, thank you. I think it's been amazing. So we've come to the end of this session, and I am about to welcome another guest onto this live stream who's going to close this fabulous day. And I want to welcome onto the screen now Sherry Warbrick, who serves on the RMT as quartet liaison. Hi, Sherry.
Hi.
Hi.
And Sherry's going to close this fabulous day for us. So over to you, Sherry.
Thank you. Well, what can I say? What a fantastic day of education. I really hope that you've all enjoyed it as much as I have. It's just been a fantastic day. I've particularly loved the live sessions, some great questions and some great answers, a real insight into the lives of Foruity, which is wonderful. I've obviously got to give a really big thank you to our faculty, Foruity and Nicky. Not only have you been wonderful today, but you've put in so much hard work behind the scenes to bring us these sessions, and we really appreciate it. A big shout out, obviously, to all of the RMT who've made this event possible, but in particular to Charlotte Sweet, who is our technical wizard, working so hard behind the scenes not just today, but in the months and weeks in advance to make sure that all of this ran really smoothly, and we couldn't have done this without her. So thank you to Charles.
Woo!
As you may have seen on our social media channels, August is Region 31's Quartet Month. We've got lots of really great content coming your way, including live AMA sessions with a variety of quartets. We've got feature quartet stories and much, much more. So make sure you tune in to all of our channels so that you don't miss anything. So that's it from me. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and bye for now.
Bye.
Once upon a time, a boy with moonlight in his eyes held his hand in mine and said he loved me so. But that was once upon a time, very long ago, so long ago. Once upon a time, we sat beneath the willow tree, counting all the stars and waiting for the dawn, but that was once upon a time. Now the tree is gone.
That was a great pop.
Thanks.
Nailed it!